Hey hackers, welcome to AzefoxInnovations new video on Sudo abuse. This video is a part of our Linux privilege escalation series, right? So let's get started. We'll start with the sudo part, like understanding the sudo, right? So sudo rules are defined in the etc/sudo file, where administrators specify which users can run which commands as root, right? So in theory, this provides a controlled way to delegate privileges. However, misconfigurations in this file often open doors for exploitation, right? For example, if user is kind of granted pseudo rights over a program like Vim, they could leverage it to break out into a root shell, right? A rule such as like allies, all is equal to all no password, and configured with the binary as no user bin Vim, right? So it actually looks harmless, but effectively gives away root access. Common misconfigurations, right? So the most dangerous pseudo misconfiguration usually come from carelessness. Okay, the no password option, right? For instance, it allows commands to be run without authentication, right? Another common issue is the use of wildcards, right? Such as the asterisk symbol, which grant overly broad permissions, right? Finally, allowing access to interactive programs like Vim, Nano, Less, Find, or scripting languages like Python gives attackers the perfect opportunity to escalate privileges by escaping into a root shell. Now, about exploiting the pseudo abuse, like how we are going to exploit the pseudo part, right? Or how we are going to abuse that, right? So in practice, pseudo abuse is like kind of straightforward, right? If a user has access to sudo vim, they can like simply run, the particular command like sudo vim -c and the following commands to spawn a root shell, right? And similarly, it can also be applied with bash and also with python, right? In a single line. These are something called as the one-liner scripts, which can actually give you a root shell, right? And the exact the exact techniques actually depends upon which binaries are allowed under sudo, right? But the the end goal remains the same, which is like gaining full system control. So now we are going to have a small demo here about abusing sudo, right? So let me go to my kali machine. I have a user as Karen here. Let me know to check like what's the user the user's ability to run some binaries as root, right? So as you can see that the user Karen as will be able to run these binaries as root, right? So for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to use the nano command, right? So now we are going to abuse this, right? To abuse this, we can actually leverage a site known as GTFObins. Okay, let me go to GTFObins here. So GTFObins, as I previously mentioned in my older Linux privilege escalation videos, right, where it is kind of a curated list or a database of like all Unix binaries or like binaries or Linux-based binaries which can be used for privilege escalation purposes, right? Or it's like how it can be abused. It is kind of more often a database, right? Here you can see like you can like almost find almost all of the way to escalate up your privilege using using the options being available here, right? So as you can see, it has a lot of stuffs here. We have shell. The one we're looking for is the sudo capability, of course, the sudo part, right? So I can just search the binary name nano, and it shows us the functions or the functionalities which we can abuse using the binary nano. We have shell, file write, file read, limited SOID, and we have the sudo. Of course, we're going to abuse this, right? So let me click on this, and as you can see, this is what this particular. No, we just need to replicate the same thing in our Linux machine, in our victim machine, and we will be root, right? So first, I guess we need to open the nano binary, right? So let me go to here. Let me go to system sudo user bin and nano, right? Okay, so here is our nano editor, right? So let me go back to GTFO bins. and it's just like we need to specify control R and control X. Okay, so let me go here, let me mention control R, right, and control X. So upon this, it actually gives us the ability to execute commands here. Okay, so I guess we are going to escalate our privilege by running a root command, by running a malicious command, which will going to spawn us a root shell within the nanotext editor itself. Okay, so as you can see, we have the command to execute option, which means like we can actually execute any sort of Linux commands over here, right? So let me go back to the GTFO bins, and again we have the command here, right? The reset, sh, and all, right? So again, this let me just paste it here. Yeah. If I run this, it says executing, right? So I guess our command is kind of getting executed, right? So I guess we got the shell there because we are able to get the the hash symbol. Let me give an ID here. I'm sorry, the VM. Yeah, as you can see now, we are root, right? Now we are root. I know within the nano text editor itself. Okay, so if I click firmware, if I type firmware, you can see we are root, right? So that's what about abusing the sudo part, right? And generally these type of sudo based privilege escalation things are like generally more common in CTFs, right? So let's say if you are playing any boot to root type of CTF, definitely, and if that machine is kind of a Linux based machine, then there are like and if the category is kind of medium or medium or like easy one, then like there are chances that it can contain very basic privilege escalation scenarios like the sudo abuse one. So yeah, now let let's go back to our slide here, right? Detection techniques, right? So yeah, defending against the pseudo abuse requires careful planning and strict privilege management at the first place, right? So administrators should follow the the principle of least privilege, ensuring that only the users only receive the minimum access needed for their task, right? Dangerous binaries like editors or interpreters should never be given pseudo rights, right? Wildcards, yeah, in pseudo rules must be violated, must be avoided as they can unintentionally allow too much power, right? Regular audits of etc pseudos using this, vi pseudo combined with monitoring pseudo logs for unusual activity will help strengthen defenses, right? And when configured properly, sudo is a powerful security tool, but when if it is misconfigured or left misconfigured, it becomes one of the fastest way for attackers to gain root, right? So yeah guys, that's all for this video. We'll catch you all in another new video. Until then, bye, and make sure you follow and subscribe to Acefox Innovations for more informative videos. Bye.